Shark, and sorry my last video got cut off. I'm gonna have to start doing it through my camera on my iPad rather than YouTube because it's been cutting me off lately when I do it on YouTube, but it does just fine on here, so I'm gonna have to start doing that. I don't know why, it's really weird. I had no problems before. But anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I'm gonna read An Ember in the Ashes and Ash Princess first probably because they're An Ember in the Ashes, I think, might have 3 or 4 books. I'm not exactly sure. But Ash Princess, I'm like 99% sure it's a trilogy. So only 3. Yeah. I also want to do a video on Bewitched and Oz. That's a duology, so there's only 2. Bewitched and Oz is the first one. Magic Below is the second one. That was a really good one. And I might be reading this soon for the, the book club I was telling you about, my mom and I are doing. We're too busy on the first, but we're gonna do upload a video on the second, saying talk about our whole book club thing. The first book we did, the Shadow Realm Chronicles, which is a new book. Only the first one is out so far. It's called Maeve. It was actually not that bad. You guys should. I liked it. I really liked it. And I thought I would like it, but it was really good. You guys should check it out. It's up on Amazon. But yeah. So on the second, we're gonna have where we tell each other our notes. She's currently reading it. I already read it. I have no idea when the other book's coming out. I kind of know the author. We've talked on Wattpad before, and so she said that if I remember correctly, she said her publisher already has the second and third books. So she's already made them, and I think she said she was working on the 4th. So I have no idea how many books they're going to be on. They're going to be. I don't know how many books. I don't know when she's going to publish the next ones. But yeah, I'm currently working on the second of my book, so we'll see how that goes. The first one is available on Amazon, Jasmine Perez and the Wicked Sorceress. If you guys want to check that out, I might do a whole video on it, honestly, but we'll see. So the back of this book says, on Legacy Day each year, the students at the Ever After High boarding school sign the Storybook of Legends and pledge to fulfill their destinies as the next generation of Snow Whites, Prince Charmings, and evil queens. Everyone believes that refusing to sign means both you and your story will vanish forever after. Poof. Raven Queen, however, is having doubts. As the daughter of the evil queen, it is her destiny to give the poisoned apple to Snow White's daughter. But Raven has a spark of rebellion in her heart, and she knows one thing for sure: evil is so not her style. On the other hand, the royal Applewhite, daughter, the fairest of them all, cannot wait for a Legacy Day. It will be the day she shuts the book on getting her happily ever after, but her destiny is intertwined with Raven's, and if Rebel Raven doesn't sign the Storybook of Legends, it could mean a happily never after for them both. The end is just the beginning. I didn't like it. But the second book says, Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the unfairest of them all? It's the aftermath of Legacy Day, the day when the students of Ever After High are supposed to pledge to follow their fairy tale parents' footsteps, and everyone is a huff and a puff. Raven Queen, daughter of the evil queen, has put everyone's story in jeopardy. To Applewhite, daughter of the Snow Whites, Raven's choice means that Apple may never get the poisoned apple or a kingdom to rule. Behind Apple stand the royals, those who play by the book and embrace their stories. The rebels, supporters of Raven, want to break free from the destiny and write their own stories. But when the chaos and rivalry land Wonderland full, Madeline Hatter in trouble. Ooh, so Maddie will be a factor in this book. I mean, she was a little bit of a factor in the first book, but not that much. I love her. Raven and Apple must bring the royals and the rebels together before it threatens to end all their happily ever afters once and for all. I wonder what happens. This book is actually kind of intriguing me now. I was a little worried because I didn't like the first book, but I'm really curious. I want to read it now. Third book, A Wonderlandful World. Riddleish me this. In Ever After High, people from Wonderland have another language, I guess, kind of, called Riddleish, where they speak in pretty much riddles, and only pretty much the people from Wonderland understand what they're talking about. At Ever After High, students are expected to sign the Storybook of Legends, pledging to follow in their fairy tale parents' footsteps. But when Raven Queen came along, things became very, very confusing. No one's Now no one's destiny is certain, not even for the most royal of them all, Applewhite. When a mysterious being from Wonderland begins to infect Ever After High with his strange magic, everything goes topsy-turvy. Lizzie Hart's Wonderland's future queen, Cedarwood, a puppet like Pinocchio, and Madeline Hatter, heir to the Mad Hatter's haberdashery and tea shop, seem to be the only ones who haven't completely lost their heads. It's up to them to save their best friends forever after from a curse that threatens to give their school and their lives a very unhappy ending. Okay, what about Kitty? I mean, if this is something like season 2, then the only reason why they weren't affected by that spell was because they were from Wonderland, and so it didn't affect them, and that includes Kitty. So like, I'm all confused now. Like, Kitty should be a huge factor, and why is Cedar? Cedar's not from Wonderland. She's daughter of Pinocchio. She should be a part of the spell, and Kitty shouldn't. I'm all confused now. I know I read this book, but it was so long ago and I don't remember. I just remember it's about Wonderland people and Cedar. That's like literally all I really remember. Now I'm all curious because Kitty's one of my favorite characters too. Here's Kitty. Kitty and Lizzie both not as if she's just something very unboring. I think Kitty will be a factor in this book. Yeah, like right here, there's a lot. I see a Kitty a lot. Kitty, 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 Kitty. Kitty Cheshire, Lizzie said aloud, and Gran like, disappear your way out of the school beyond the magic barrier and find how to mess with Gran. Oh, so that might be why Kitty's not a part of it, because she's the only one that can get out of the magic barrier to get help. That makes sense, you know, 'cause she can disappear like Cheshire Cat. Okay, that makes sense. I wonder why Cedar's not affected though. I mean, I'm gonna have to reread this because I have like no idea, like seriously. I'm all confused. The back of book 4. I don't know what I want to call it book 4 anymore, but I think I still will. I mean, it's from the same author, came in the same box set, and I mean, it has some of the same, I mean, it talks, I think it is from the same storyline. It's like, it's from the same universe, same storyline. It's just, it has this, like, each chapter is like completely different, I guess, if that makes any sense, because it is still part of the same universe and all, because it's talking about the, what are they called? The Bella Sisters or whatever? That was all confusing. The Tale of Two Sisters, that's what it was called. Yeah, so... Ugly Duckling. What the heck? That wasn't in the contents. Swan Song. That wasn't in the contents either. Turn the page for an exclusive sneak peek at the next chapter of Ever After High. A new series by acclaimed author Suzanne Silvers begins with Next Top Villain. Okay, I've heard of these. I wasn't sure if I wanted to read them, but maybe I will eventually, like someday in the future. Like, they're not on the top of my TBR. I'm gonna make a TBR video eventually. I have like 2 lists. Okay, 2 lists. One list is like the books that are like on the top of my list I want to read as soon as possible. The other one is books I do want to get to eventually, but they're not at the top of my TBR, so they're not my main concern. So I wasn't sure if I should make like both TBR lists or just make the one with the books on the top of my TBR, and then after I finish that the other one will be on the top of my TBR, and like have that be my TBR for my next video after I finish this. So comment down below what you think I should do, because I kind of lean towards that one actually, where I like wait to do the second list until I'm done with the first list, because that'll make a lot more sense. Okay, so the back of this says, read these exclusive introductions to all your favorite characters and find out what their lives are like at home. Oh, so you do get a little more insight on each character. Well, not each character, but some of the characters. I lost my place. A new chapter is about to begin at Ever After High, and all these students are preparing to start their legacy year. In just a few weeks. Okay, so this is actually kind of a prequel, because at the beginning of the first book, they were all getting ready to go to go to school, which will be their legacy year, and this is like the summer beforehand, I guess. And it's like, so this is like their summer before everything goes to heck. Okay. And will commit living out their fairy tale destinies, repeating the famous stories of their parents. The volume collects for the new first time 12 short tales, including 5 brand new stories. Find out what Dexter and Darling Charming, Cedarwood, Lizzie Harts, and Kitty Cheshire were doing just before school started. The story collection also includes the stories of Applewhite, Raven Queen, Madeline Hatter, Brighter Beauty, Ashlyn, Ella, and Hunter Huntsman, and the fairy tale, The Tale of Two Sisters. So yeah, it's a prequel. Okay, so I technically can read this at any point I want. I can read it like before these books if I wanted to. This book would be probably quicker because they are such short stories. But these still won't take too long, you know. How many pages are there? How many chapters? I have no idea. We're about to find out. This is the epilogue. Ch 23 chapters plus an epilogue. And 323 pages. See, this only had 200 something. And then this one is epilogue. There's an epilogue at the end of each, apparently. So this is technically the end of the series, because that's more of a prequel. So it still came after, but based before. So this is where it ends. 26 chapters with 300 pages. How many did this have? Prologue. Like I said, they all have a prologue. I don't remember how many this had. 29 chapters with an epilogue and 304 pages. So this is the series. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or I could do it this way too, since technically this is a prequel. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or it's like 0.1, 0.5, because I've seen that happen before. I'll go to reads. Like 0.5, 1, 2, 3. It's like not 1, but it's like not 1, if that makes any sense. It probably doesn't, because I don't make any sense. I want to do an unhaul video soon. I mean, there's not that many books that I own that I don't like. I was thinking about having a garage sale. Like, I never had a garage sale before, and I was like getting rid of some of my books, like the ones I don't like, whatever I decide to unhaul in my unhaul video. So it won't be a big unhaul because like I don't have that many books I want to get rid of. But some of my friends wanted me to send them the book. I know my best friend wants me to send her Red Queen. Oh, that's a spoiler. Oops. And my other friend wants me to send me another book. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't want to just get rid of them either, like the way I want someone to get used to them, you know. I don't know. We'll see. But this will probably be on the list. Spoiler alert. I mean, I don't like it. And honestly, I was debating if when I did make the unhaul video, if I was going to unhaul this book, because I mean it is part of a series, but at the same time, why keep a hold of a book that I will never read again? Like these, I mean, third one, I'm like 99% sure I'm gonna read again. This one, I'm like 80% sure I'm gonna read again because I think I'm gonna like it. And then this one, I'm not sure yet. After I read it, I'll figure out if I ever plan on reading it again. I might just keep it for Maddie's and Lizzie's stories because, like I said, they're two of my favorite characters. I think Kitty had a story. Didn't it say Kitty had a story? Because then her too, because they're the Wonderlandians and they're my favorites. I also like Hunter and Ashlyn. There's one that says, Ashlyn, Ella, and the Mysterious Woodsman, and they're like my favorite couple. One of them. One of my favorite couples. So, if that is about Ashlyn and Hunter, like I presume, then I might keep it for that one too. What was I looking for? Oh yeah, Kitty. Kitty Cheshire and the Trixie Day. So she does have her own story as well. So yeah, but anyways, point of this was because it is part of a series, but I'm never gonna read again. And when I buy like movies, if there's one movie I don't like, I won't buy it again. I mean, if there's one movie out of the series I don't like, I won't buy it. I'll keep the rest of the series. Like, I mean, I did buy the fourth Halloween Town along with the other three, and I'm not a fan of the fourth Halloween Town. But the thing is, it's different because there are a couple scenes I do like, and I think it had potential. They made a few mistakes, which is why it's so terrible as it is. And honestly, I don't know. I kind of regret getting it, but at the same time, I kind of don't. So I don't know. But like, first of all, changing Marnie. If Marnie didn't want to come back, don't make the stinking movie. Then they also changed her personality. it's like with a different character, with a different actress playing her, they just completely changed Marnie. The mom, who is the same actress, they still changed her personality. They started changing her personality at like movie 3. I also like her with Ethan. That's one thing I do like about it, because I love about this book has mostly to do with Marnie and Dylan's sister-brother relationship, which I love because I do love the ending, how she gave the necklace to Dylan instead. I don't like how Sophie wasn't in it at all, and the grandma was only in it a little bit. Sophie was barely in the third one. So yeah, it had potential, but they completely wrecked it. But with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies, I don't like the third one, so I didn't buy it. I bought the first 2, and I own the first 2 now because I love them. I'm talking about the original one, the 1990 ones, because the newer ones are crap. But I don't like the third one, so I didn't buy it. I bought the other ones, didn't buy this one. So that's the only example I can think of. But yeah. Don't like this book. I might get rid of it in the unhaul because I don't see the point of keeping it when someone else might get more use of it than I do. I don't know, there are okay, so but I know for sure I'm gonna keep this one. And I'm probably gonna keep this one because I don't know. I have high hopes for it. I had high hopes for the first one though too, and it kind of destroyed me. Not in a good way. Like there's destroying you in a good way. Like a lot of my books, like Seekers, Warriors, Harry Potter, Effigies, Skinjacker, Bewitched Nas. What else is there? Storymakers, Secrets Life of I'm done. I just accidentally said a show that I'm not even a fan of. Ow. Secrets of the Immortal Nicholas Flamel is what I was trying to say, but apparently I wasn't going to say it. Those are so much. I lost to. Those all destroy me in good ways. That sounds weird, but a book nerd, like I'm sure you all are, will understand me. So yeah. So no, yes, probably, and most likely, because even if there are some stories I don't like, I'm going to want to keep it for the stories that I will like, because I'm pretty sure I'll like the Lizzie story, the Kitty story, the Maddie story, the Ashlyn and Hunter story. The other stories, I'm not sure. I'm not even going to read the Apple story because I don't like her, so I'm not going to read a story about her. All the other stories I think I will read, but I'm almost positive that I'm going to keep them mostly for Lizzie, Maddie, Kitty, Ashlyn, and Hunter. Like, seriously. That's, like, what I'm mostly going to keep it for. I already know that. So that's what I'm currently reading. Yeah, and I need to read more books afterwards, plus, like, I don't have money for the other ones, so it's like, I don't want to start it without being able to buy the other ones, like An Ember in the Ashes and Ash Princess. So I might just reread, but I don't know what I want to reread. I mean, I know I'm going to be... So with this book club, I'm reading 2 books at a time now, which is really difficult. Not difficult, that's not the right word, because it's not difficult, not really. But it's really odd and weird for me, because I never done that before. I always made sure I read, like, 1 book at a time, 1 series at a time, whatever. Especially if she chooses a book that I'm not that into, I will read it, but I'm going to want to also read a book I am into. So... Like I don't even. So I've been like I was reading this book when while reading the book that I chose for this month, because I was actually already in the middle of this book when we started this whole. Oh man, it took me a month to get through this book, and I still didn't end up finishing it. I ended up just like nope, I just couldn't even finish it. I just couldn't. Didn't like it, and I don't think I would have ever finished it, honestly. I would have just had it in my purse all this time, never reading, because I can't get through this one stupid book. I don't like this book. So I might just reread until I'm trying to get a job, and then I'll have money to buy books. Yeah, I'm gonna try to buy at least 1 book each paycheck, or maybe every other paycheck, because like then I can like buy a movie from Google Play too, or a season from a show. So I want to buy Pretty Little Liars. I need to buy. I'm gonna have to. I was gonna say Charm, but I might not have to buy it. I might be able to watch it somewhere else. What else do I need to buy? I need to buy That 70s Show. I forgot what else Netflix took off, but Switched at Birth. I have to buy that too. But yeah. So I don't know what I'm planning on rereading yet. Do you guys have any ideas? I mean, I'll show you what I have books. I mean, Lost, I think is what my mom is thinking about choosing for the month of October for our book thing. And then if she does, then I'm gonna choose the next one, which she'll probably choose the next one. Then I'll choose the last one. So next 4 months for our book thing, we'll probably be reading the Lost. For the sorry, my iPad's about to die, so I have to plug it in. Hi. Okay. There. Better. So, what was I saying? So, for the next, 4 months, we're probably going to be reading the Lost books. So I don't know what I want to read next. I mean, so I'm not going to choose the books that she's thinking about reading, that she's thinking about choosing for our books. I mean, next 4 months is going to be Lost, probably. No guarantees there. But, there's also Secrets Named Most of Nicholas Flamel. She's not that into that one, but she's thinking about doing it anyways. Because it is a spin-off of Harry Potter, but she's not guaranteed if she even wants to try it. Then there's Bewitched and Oz, which is a duology, so that'll only take 2 months to read them both. She's thinking about doing, because that sounds interesting. And then the FG's trilogy, which will take 3 months, because it's a trilogy, so it's 3. So she's thinking about doing those. So some of my other books, like Harry Potter, I've been wanting to have read those. Maybe I'll do that next. I haven't read the Harry Potter books in a long time, and that makes me sad because I love them. They're my 3rd favorite books, but I still haven't read them in a while. So now that I finally have them all again, I want to read them. Seekers, I'm always in the mood to reread, but I'm gonna, not right now. Maybe I will soon, though, because it's Seekers, and I have to reread them at least once a year. Sometimes twice a year. I think I already read them once this year, so I can read them twice this year. Yay! Okay. There's the Skinjacker trilogy, which I read just recently, so no. What other books haven't I read in a while? Warriors, but I want to wait until I decide to. I want to wait because when I have money, then I can get the other books. I'll reread what I already read, then read the other ones, but first I need to buy them. What other books do I own? I don't even know. I'll be right back. There's the Once Upon a Time books. At least the first 2 I want to reread. I only read them once. My mom kind of destroyed the second one, the Regina one. Storymakers, I wouldn't mind rereading. What else is there? The other Monster High books. I think I'm going to do that one next. I'll be right back. I want to show you what they look like. So these, I think they're out of order. No, they're in order. Sort of. See? First one, second one, third one, fourth one. First one's a lot about Frankie. So, my least favorite, because it has lots to do with Frankie, and no one likes Frankie, let's be honest. Second one's a lot about Cleo. Third one's a lot about Claudine. You can tell, because, if you know Monster High, then you can tell. Fourth one's a lot about Dracula, which makes it my favorite. I mean, it's a lot different. It has nothing to do with the movies. I mean, Monster High Girlfriends had at least something to do with the movies. movies. They just made their own storylines, own villain, and added a few side characters. But the three main characters are characters in the movies, and they're a lot like who they are in the movies. And they also have other characters that are in the movies, but turn them into side characters. But these is like they are Monster High doesn't even exist yet. They're creating Monster High, and there's also a normie, which is what they call humans, who's the main character, Melody. And then there's Frankie, who is just created. And they're both going to high school, and the monsters are going to a normie high school, but they have to pretend to be normies. They can't let them know they're monsters. Cleo, who's a mummy. Claudine, who's a werewolf. I only read the series once, so there's a lot I don't remember. And then Draculaura, which they name her Lala on here. I think that's supposed to be like a nickname. I don't really remember, which makes me really sad. Which makes me like a little bit angry because like her name is Draculaura. But I also want to reread this. I only read it once. It's actually a Monster High and Ever After High crossover, Legend of Shadow High. And so I think I know what I'm going to do now. After this series, I'm going to reread this series and do some of those inside videos. So you'll be seeing videos for these soon. I mean, these you'll be seeing videos for sooner, but you'll see these soon-ish. And then you'll see a video for this one. It's from the same person who, well, sort of. The author of this is Shannon Hale. And then there's co-authors for this one, Shannon Hale and Dean Hale. I'm guessing that's her husband. Because like all of these, there's always an introduction talking about like she's making these for her children or something. Let me find it. For Dean, My Happily Ever After. No, this one's for her husband. But I think, so this was probably before their kids. Second one, so yeah, Dean is probably her husband. This is the third one. I meant to grab the second one. For Tessa, Ellie, and Kira, Wander nieces are go. These are her nieces. I know one of these has her kids in there. At least I think they're her kids. I might be wrong, but we'll see. For Dinah and Ren, Our Little Royal and Rebel, or is it the other way around? Yeah, see that those are their kids. And then so the first one's dedicated to her husband. Second one's dedicated to her kids. Third one's dedicated to her nieces. And fourth one, maybe they're dedicated to like everyone. I don't know. Let's see. We're about to find out. To Mia from Tanja and Dave. For Maribel and Oliviana, who are masters of their own stories. I have no idea. Maybe there are more kids they had later on. I have no idea. But anyways, I'm pretty sure Dean is her husband, and they worked on this one together. And it was really good. I remember really liking it. I liked it even more than this series. I like this series, don't get me wrong. That's why I still have it. I do like it. I don't like as much as Monster High Ghoul Friends, but this probably because there's a lot they changed and the characters, and they're going to normie high school, and Monster High doesn't even exist yet, and stuff like that. So that's probably why I don't like it as much. Reminds me too much of the Monster High reboot, which this might actually be more based off of the Monster High reboot than rather just the original Monster High. But I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, those are my reading plans for like probably all of October. I mean, it's the end of September. I probably might be able to finish all of this Ever After High in September. And if I do, then I could probably read all of this and this in October. That's 5 books. If not, I could at least do these 4 and then start this one in November. I have no idea what I'm going to read after this one. I mean, hopefully, I'm hoping to have a job by then. So I might be able to start my other books because I'll be able to actually have money to buy them. I'm gonna go buy money. So see, I'm gonna go buy money with like just buy. Okay, yep, that's me. I don't know what I'm talking about half the time apparently. I will give you the synopsis of these if you want, because why not? So this is the first one. Melody's new. Melody and her family left behind glamorous Beverly Hills for the fresh air of Salem, Oregon, after shredding her old camel hump nose and constant asthma attacks. Melody finally gets to be the pretty one at Marston High. Too bad she feels like a fraud until she meets Jackson. But her new Jackson, he's on the if it's the same person, unless they change the character. If it's the same person, then Jackson's on Monster High. He's like half normie, half monster. But romance gets tricky when Melody hears totally bizarre rumors about monster sightings. Like, what? Okay, Frankie's newer. Fellow new student Frankie has lived in Salem all her life, but then again, she's only been in life for 15 days. She set out to conquer high school boys and shopping in that order, but if she wants to fit in, she's going to have to hide a monster of a secret. Instead, she risks it all for her stolen kids, a mistake that could cost her everything. Can Melody and Frankie survive the horrors of high school? Fitting in is out. So that's book 1. Book 2. Cleo strikes a pose. Cleo was the queen bee of Marston High, but now it's Frankie this and Melody that. These new girls sure know how to get Cleo slashes in the tangle. But when Cleo lands a golden Teen Vogue photo op for her friends, everything seems to be back on track. That is until everyone bails to be in some film, Frankie and Melody's film. Can't a royal get some loyal? Frankie and Melody steal the spotlight. Frankie lost her head over Brett once and vows never to do it again. But when Brett comes up with a plan that could help the Rads live free, sparks fly again, and Frankie has to deal with Brett's ex, Becca, who will stop at nothing to put out the flames, even if it means destroying the entire monster community. With her own Becca bomb ticking away, Melody has just hours to save her boyfriend Jackson from being exposed as a rat. But Cleo is making it royally difficult for the normie and threatening her acceptance into the Rads exclusive group, a group that Melody suspects she has more in common with than she ever thought. That's book 2. Book 3. Claudine is on the run. Always overshadowed by her 6 siblings and her 5 friends, Claudine plans to finally strut her stuff in the spotlight as her upcoming Sassy 16 bash, but then the Ghoul Next Door video goes viral and is on into the woods to hide for the family wolf. Claudine howls in protest and plans her escape back to regularly scheduled life. Frankie and Melody run wild. Just when Frankie thought she had sparked a new romance, it seems to have fizzled out. Still, she's charged up and ready to fight for her rights. Video Schmidio. Who's with her? Hello? Anyone still there? Melody wants to help, but she's busy trying to get the truth out of her parents and keeps Miss J from sending Jackson into hiding. As she struggles to walk into the line between Normie and Rad, she starts to realize that people are actually listening to what she says, even Candace. Is Melody's newfound voice here to stay? I think Candace is Melody's sister, if I remember correctly. Book 4. Lala gets a life. The Rads are free, and Lala's flashing her fangs with pride. But when Daddy Drax pays her a surprise visit, everything goes batty. Mr. D thinks Rads should have their own school, but Lala isn't ready to give up the rights she and her friends have fought so hard for. When she hears about a glamorous contest that awards the winning school Mad Moolah and a chance to star in a national ad campaign, Lala decides to bite. Frankie and Melody live out loud. Frankie sparking at the chance to represent Marston High in the national ad campaign. All she has to do is win a school vote, impress the judges, and beat out Cleo Denial. Easier said than won. Cleo's clinging to her queen bee crown like cat hair on velvet. Will Frankie burn out on being the nice girl and bury Cleo and her ego once and for all? Melody's breaking out too when she decides to help Candace sneak into a concert and ends up bonding with the band. Asked to sing lead, Melody captures the attention of the cool college crowd and hot band roadie Granette Sander. As the final bell rings on the sophomore year, Melody's forced to make a life-changing choice. Will her decision shatter her dreams or break her heart? So that's that series. This is a different thing. It's standalone. I don't read mini standalones. I don't really like standalones that often. Nothing against standalones, because some of them are good, like this one. But it's just I feel like there's more to a series. I think that's why I watch television shows more than I do movies, because there is more to it. But that's just my opinion, especially the longer it is. I love long series. I love Seekers, which is 12 books. I love Warriors, which is 36, not including the super editions. So yeah, I love longer series. I do own quite a few. I own a few trilogies, which I love, which are some of my favorites, but I still prefer them longer. Lost is only 4. The Secrets of the Immortal Nicholas Flamel is 6 books. Okay, so this one is the Legend of Shadow High crossover between Monster High and Ever After High. I wonder if this one says anything. I mean, the other ones did. For our royal monsters, Gabe and Levy. How many kids did they end up having? Like, are these all their kids, or are they foster parents? I have no idea. I'm gonna have to look that up, because now I'm all confused. It's like, there's like newts. I don't know. Can the world of stories be saved? Beyond the boundaries of Ever After High and Monster High, there is a world that only the narrators know. In the world of stories, monsters and fairy tale creatures are kept secret from one another to protect them from something more powerful and darker than they could imagine. But the realms across the world of stories are about to collide in a way that will change everything, and only one brave narrator, Brooke Page, is ready to tell the tale. With the ominous Shadow High gains power, Frankenstein and Dracula are accidentally transported from Monster High to Ever After High. There they meet 2 princesses, Applewhite, the daughter of Snow White, and Raven Queen, the daughter of the Evil Queen. Together they discover that the Evil Queen had escaped Mirror Prison and kidnapped Madeline Hatter. Man, is she always in danger? Like, seriously. And has her sights set on Shadow High. It's up to Frankie, Raven, Dracula, and Apple to stop the Evil Queen and save the world from stories before it's too late. Too bad it has to be... I don't like Frankie. Not as much as I don't like Apple, but I don't like Frankie. Dracula is one of my favorite characters, so yay about that. Raven I like. She's not one of my favorites, but I do love her. Too bad it's not like Dracula and... I don't know, another character. I mean, my favorite Monster High characters are Dracula, Twyla, Abby, Laguna, Cleo, Claudine. Ever After High is Lizzie, Kitty, Maddie, Bunny, Alistair, Cerise, mostly the Wonderlandians, but I like Cerise and Raven as well. Too bad we can't just draw Frankie and Apple. Like, I don't like them. Like, let's not have them in this story. But of course they're in the story because they're like 2 of the main characters. I mean, on Ever After High, the 2 main characters are Apple and Raven. On Monster High, Frankie, Dracula, Claudine, Laguna, and Cleo, and Laguna, and Gulia are the main characters. I mean, I don't think Gulia is technically considered a main character, but she's always with Cleo, so I like to consider her one. I don't think Laguna is considered one. Actually, yes, she is, because she's her name's in the theme song, so she is considered a main character. Okay. Yeah, so I want to reread this. I think I'm going to reread this one first, and then do this. Or maybe I'll do it the other way around. I don't know. We'll see. I guess it depends on which one I'm more in the mood to read. So yeah, that is my plans. My reading plans for the month of October. I mean, maybe I'll finish all these early and then have like more books I can read. Hopefully I can get a job soon and then I can buy more books so I can read new books. I mean, I love rereading books, but I also want to read some of my books on my TBR. Like, seriously, I do. So, that's a lot of books. And this took a lot longer than I thought it was going to. So, thank you for watching. I ended up having to cut this into 2 videos because I got caught off. Next time I know that I will make it on my camera, my video on my camera, other than on YouTube, I guess. I don't know. So, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and comment. If you've read any books, if you like them, just comment anything, I guess, anything. You should read all of these books. They're all really good books. I mean, where did it go? Oh, here it is. It was right in front of my face. This book, I did not like. And I don't think, as long as you've watched the series, I don't think you have to read this book to read the rest. I do recommend the rest, though. At least these 2. You don't have to read this one since it's just a bunch of storybook collections. But you do want to get more of an insight on some of the characters. I do recommend it. These I recommend, definitely. Especially this one. And I haven't read this one yet, but I think I'm going to like it. I think you will too, so I recommend them. And I'll tell you if I do recommend them for sure or not when I talk again after I read it. But so I don't think you have to read this one because I do not recommend it because I do not like it. I mean, you might. If you like Apple, then you might like it. I think she's part of the reason why I don't like it. But I also don't like the first season of Ever After High. If you like the first season, you will probably like this. If you do not, then I do not recommend it. As long as you know the story of the first book and the first season of Ever After High, because it's basically the same, then you don't really need to read it to read the rest. Then these I recommend. I like Monster High Girlfriends more, but I do still like these, and I do recommend them. It's a fun read, you know, something a lot different. It has the same characters you love if you love Monster High, but still, like, they put their own twist on it, like most stories. Then I definitely recommend this if you love Monster High and Ever After High. You finally can read a crossover of them, and it's really good. I had no idea this existed. I mean, they kind of played off the idea that they might make a crossover. In one of the Monster High movies, the Boo York, the musical one, at the end, one of the new characters was on the phone with Raven and Apple telling them what she discovered. But then Ever After High got canceled, and then Monster High got a reboot, so they never ended up doing that, so instead they did it in book form. I don't know if this was before or after that, but otherwise, anyway, I don't care. There's a book form of a crossover, and I love it. I actually have a crossover fanfiction I'm not done with yet on Wattpad. If you want to follow me on Wattpad and read some of my fanfictions. What's my username? I changed my username. I think I put it as author Johara Harper. So go follow me and read some of my fanfictions. And if you have any fanfictions of like characters or couples of shows and movies or books I like, then maybe I'll do it. I have a Seekers fanfiction too I've been working on, so go check that out. And I'm planning on making a Warriors one eventually, and I'm thinking about making some other book fanfictions. I'm thinking about making one for Monster High Girlfriends. I have a few Ever After High ones if you want to read that, and I have a few Monster High ones too if you want to read those. I don't know what else I want to do fanfictions on. I'm gonna make a Descendants one, and that has to do with Isle Lost. Maybe I'll do an Effigies and Skinjacker one, or Stormmakers one, or I don't know. We'll see. I will see what I feel like doing eventually. So yeah, that's it. That's enough for this. Okay, so thank you for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow, because I have to make a whole video on this stupid book, so I might get angry in my video because I did not like it, like, at all. Like, seriously. I mean, I ended up skimming the last few chapters because I couldn't finish it, and I pretty much only skimmed for the parts that I saw Maddie in, like, because I like Maddie. Okay, so yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow, I guess, so, yeah.